ties. This is part 6 of the game from the latest One Piece Pirate Warriors lore. In this video we will enter Whole Cake Island arc. The Whole Cake Island arc, also known as the Sanji Retrieval arc and the Tea Party from Hell arc, is the 29th story arc in the series and the second in the Yonko saga of One Piece. Continuing from the Zo arc, Monkey D. Luffy, Nami, Tony Chopper, Brook, and the Minx Pecans, Pedro, and Carrot head to Whole Cake Island, where Big Mom of the Yonko resides. Nicknamed the Sanji Retrieval Team, the group seeks to rescue their crewmate Sanji from his arranged marriage with Charlotte Pudding. Set up to finalize a political alliance between the Charlotte family and the Vinsmoke family. In the midst of their operation, however, they become involved in a plot seeking to take down Big Mom herself. The Big Mom pirates reach their territory, Tata Land, with Sanji in tow. Sanji refused to accept his situation, although he became enamored with Charlotte Pudding and Vito gave him a picture of her. Vito then talked to Sanji about how he admired Germa 66, who were portrayed as villains in the comic Sora, Warrior of the Sea. Sanji blew off Vito, causing Vito's crewmate Gotti to threaten Sanji, but Vega's wife Charlotte Chiffon prevented Gotti from harming Sanji. Meanwhile, the Sanji Retrieval Team was starving when Luffy finally caught a fish. He immediately started eating it, but its skin turned out to be extremely poisonous and put him on the brink of death. The Thousand Sunny then entered Tato Land and was soon confronted by a ship belonging to Germa 66. They were greeted by Sanji's brother Vinsmoke Yanji, and Yanji refused to help Luffy. However, his sister Vinsmoke Ranger then attacked him and came to the Sunny, where she used her poison pink abilities to suck the poison out of Luffy's body. Ranger revealed that the upcoming marriage had been arranged by her father, who initially had trouble finding Sanji until his bounty poster had been updated. This caused Luffy to become antagonistic toward her and Yanji, but the two siblings decided to part ways peacefully with the Straw Hats to avoid making a scene before the wedding. On Broccoli Island, Vinsmoke Ichiji and Vinsmoke Nichi led a Germa 66 army to help end a 2-year war. They beat the side they were hired to fight against in just 4 hours, and after collecting their payment, they prepared to head to their brother's wedding. The Sanji Retrieval Team arrived at Cacao Island, and Luffy and Chopper were awed as they saw that everything was made of chocolate. Pecans told the rest of the team how Tato Land was a place where all races lived in harmony, and stayed on the ship as everyone else disembarked. Pedro was greeted by a wolf mink who recognized him, but he told the mink to not draw attention to him. Luffy and Chopper were then arrested after eating almost an entire building, but they were saved by the building's owner, Charlotte Pudding, who claimed that she had told them to demolish it. Pudding took the team to her cafe, and as she talked with him, Luffy inadvertently revealed who he was. Pudding then revealed who she was, and said that she had already met Sanji once. He still wished to rejoin his crew, and she accepted it and was willing to help the Straw Hats take him back, recalling one of her own sisters who left Tato Land to marry for love. Pudding mapped a secret route for the Sanji Retrieval Team to take to Whole Cake Island, where she would be waiting with Sanji. The team then received chocolate rations from her before heading back to the Sunny, but discovered that Pecans was nowhere to be seen and had left a message on the wall saying to turn back. Meanwhile, Aladdin had spotted the Sunny from underwater and reported this to Jinbei. Jinbei requested to his crew that he break off from the Big Mom pirates and join the Straw Hat pirates, and they happily agreed, wanting him to make a decision benefiting himself for once. The Sun pirates prepared to flee should Jinbei's request to cut ties with Big Mom go wrong. And Big Mom's daughter Charlotte Prowling was more than willing to accompany her husband Aladdin wherever he went. On Whole Cake Island, Big Mom sang and danced with anthropomorphic objects known as honeys as she received reports of her crew members massacring people to acquire ingredients for the wedding cake. She then looked forward to dealing with Luffy, who she already knew had arrived. However, Big Mom was later stricken by a craving for croquembouche, and her mental illness made her mindlessly violent as she attacked Sweet City to find it. Her son Charlotte Moscato attempted to intervene, but she pulled out 40 years of his lifespan, causing the onlookers to pronounce him dead on the scene. As Big Mom neared her own castle, Jinbei then arrived and threw a pile of croquembouche tourists into her mouth, satiating her. Big Mom did not remember what she had done, and Jinbei asked to discuss something important with her. Big Mom took him to the Whole Cake Chateau, and Jinbei asked to leave her crew. Big Mom seemingly accepted, but stated that Jinbei would have to spin a roulette wheel to give something up in return. Realizing that the wheel would cause him to lose all of his remaining lifespan and threaten the lives of his comrades as well, Jinbei took back his request. The Sanji retrieval team sailed along Pudding's secret route, dealing with a variety of sea creatures and getting stuck in a syrupy ocean that froze over in the night. As they worked to free the Sunny, Pedro revealed that he was once a pirate who had sailed to Tato Land before, but had been defeated. Now, in addition to helping rescue Sanji, he also wished to help the Straw Hats acquire Big Mom's road poneglyph, and told Luffy to leave that mission to him. The team reached Whole Cake Island the next morning, and Luffy spotted Sanji and Pudding standing on the coast. Pedro and Brook went off on the shark-submerged 3 to find the road poneglyph, and the rest of the team disembarked, not seeing Sanji or Pudding anywhere. They entered the seducing woods, where they were almost eaten by a homie called the Noble Clock and encountered a clone of Luffy. Luffy started fighting with his clone, who perfectly mirrored his words and actions, when the team spotted someone they thought was Sanji. The Sanji lookalike ran away, and as Nami, Chopper, and Carrot chased him, they encountered a large man named Pound buried in the ground and were attacked by a rabbit homie named Randolph as the many homies of the seducing woods prepared to kill the Sanji retrieval team. Nami, Chopper, and Carrot ran away from Randolph, and Carrot briefly clashed with the rabbit. They ended up by Pound again, and as they tried running back to the coast, they got back to Luffy still fighting with his reflection. However, they were accompanied by Luffy's reflection while the real Luffy was sent running the other way, and ended up going right back to Pound. The mirror version of Luffy then transformed into the 8th daughter of the Charlotte family, Charlotte Brûlée, and Brûlée grabbed Nami as she prepared to scar her face. Nami managed to use her clean attack to free herself, but when Carrot tried attacking Brûlée, Brûlée reflected her attacks before sending her into an alternate dimension known as the Mirror World. Brûlée then had the homies in the seducing woods attack Chopper and Nami, and Chopper activated Monster Coin to allow Nami to run away. Eventually, Chopper was overwhelmed and sent to the Mirror World as well. Meanwhile, Luffy captured several animals that Brûlée had turned into mirror duplicates of his comrades, including Sanji and Pudding. As night fell, he realized that he had captured the real Nami, and after freeing her, they talked with Pound, who revealed how Brûlée had created the disguised animals and what had happened to Chopper. Pound then told them how homies were created by scattering a month's worth of lifespan given by the citizens of Tato Land every 6 months as a tribute. As Big Mom was able to remove lifespans with the power of her devil fruit, Pound then revealed that he was once one of Big Mom's husbands, but had been cast aside after giving her twin daughters. Right then, Charlotte Cracker, the 10th son of the Charlotte family and one of the Big Mom Pirates' 3 sweet commanders, pulled Pound out of the ground and prepared to kill him for giving information to their enemies. Pound pleaded with Cracker to let him see his daughters, Chiffon and Lola, before he died. Nami realized that Lola was Big Mom's daughter and the sister that Pudding mentioned, and when Randolph attempted to attack her and Luffy, Cracker blew him and the other homies away with just his voice. Cracker stated he had come to deal with Luffy's group to eliminate them before the Vinsmokes all arrived, much to the chagrin of Brûlée and the homie King Bum. Cracker prepared to kill Pound first, but Luffy blocked his sword strike, and the homies ran in fear from the powerful clash. Nami and Pound ran away and were chased by Brûlée and the homies, but Nami pulled out the Vibra card Lola gave her, and her suspicions were confirmed as the homies were repelled by the soul of Big Mom in the card. However, Cracker quickly overpowered Luffy, and Brûlée confronted Nami, saying they would have no chance of getting anywhere close to Sanji or Big Mom. Brûlée then attempted to grab Nami and pull her into the Mirror World, but Pound attacked his ex-stepdaughter, allowing Nami to strike Brûlée with Thunderbolt tempo. Nami then decided to take advantage of the card's power against the homies by forcing them to serve her. Luffy continued fighting Cracker, but was unable to injure the Sweet Commander even with Gear 2nd and Gear 3rd. Cracker spawned additional limbs on his body and created copies of his sword and shield, allowing him to overpower Luffy. However, when Cracker stated that Sanji did not want to return to the Straw Hats, an enraged Luffy activated Gear 4th and successfully injured him with Kongun. However, as Luffy split Cracker's body in half with additional attacks, the real Cracker leapt out and cut him in the arm, injuring him. Cracker revealed that he was operating in a biscuit body crafted by the Biscuit and created more biscuit bodies that shielded him and allowed him to gain an edge offensively. Brook and Pedro infiltrated Sweet City, where they read the news about Junpei and, to their surprise, found Pudding being forced to try on wedding dresses. They then overheard from Tanago that the Big Mom pirates knew the locations of everyone in the Sanji retrieval team except for the two of them. At the northwestern coast of Whole Cake Island, Cutthroat and Vega and the Fire Tank pirates brought a captured Peekums to the edge of a cliff. Vega had offered Peekums the chance to join him in his plot to assassinate Big Mom, but Peekums refused. And the Lion Mink told Vega to not underestimate Big Mom before being shot into shark-infested waters. However, Peekums was swiftly rescued by members of the Sun Pirates. In the Whole Cake Chateau, Big Mom talked to Caesar about her job for him to find a way to turn her children giant like her. Caesar had long ago realized that gigantification was impossible and so blew all the money Big Mom invested into the project. And to protect himself claimed that his research had been halted by Luffy and Law destroying his lab. Big Mom then revealed that she had her eldest son Charlotte Parasparrow create a perfect replica of his lab out of candy with the power of the Para-Para-no-Mi. And gave Caesar 2 weeks to complete his research, or else Parasparrow would turn him into candy and kill him. At Lake Aprico behind the Whole Cake Chateau, several Germa ships docked together to form the mobile Germa Kingdom. There, Sanji had reunited with Yanji and beaten him up after Yanji tried bossing him around. Ranger then asked Sanji why he did not accept the new lifestyle offered to him, but Sanji continued expressing his disgust with his family. Sanji's father Vinsmoke Judge then arrived and tried talking to his estranged son about the incident with Yanji, but Sanji treated him coldly as well, causing him to take Sanji outside to settle matters physically. As they started to fight, Sanji demonstrated his abilities to be on par with Judge's, and remembered how his father allowed his brothers to bully him mercilessly. Sanji went on the offensive, but Judge had Germa soldiers form a wall in front of him, preventing Sanji from attacking while allowing him to penetrate one of the soldiers with his spear and hit Sanji with an electric discharge from the tip. Afterwards, Ranger treated Sanji's wounds, and Judge told Sanji that he no longer considered him a son and had brought him for the arranged marriage because he considered Big Mom to be a psychopath. To ensure Sanji's cooperation, Judge had Ranger put exploding cuffs on his wrists, which would explode and destroy his hands if he attempted to escape. The next morning, Ichichi and Michi arrived at the Germa Kingdom, and the Vinsmoke family had a meal together. There, Sanji was angered when Michi scraped some of his food onto the floor and attempted to throw his plate at the head chef Cosette. However, Sanji was prevented from acting further by Judge, who revealed that Germa had sent assassins to the East Blue who would take out Zephyr on command. After the meal, Sanji discovered that Cosette had been brutally beaten, and Yanji offered to take him to see Michi. Yanji took Sanji to a laboratory where Germa grew its clone soldiers, and Sanji was then confronted by Michi and Ichichi. Sanji attacked Michi, but was quickly overpowered by his 3 brothers and left injured in the laboratory. Sanji remembered growing up in the Germa Kingdom, where his father Judge had him and his siblings trained to unlock special superhuman modifications. However, Sanji constantly fell behind in all the exercises, and was brutally bullied by his brothers as a result. Judge disapproved of Sanji's compassionate activities such as cooking and put a stop to them, and although Sanji's mother Sora encouraged these activities, she eventually died. After finding out that Sanji appeared to be a normal human without a trace of modifications in his body, Judge had Sanji locked away in a dungeon and had his death fate. Although he had to wear an iron mask, Sanji was fed in his cell and was able to study, but was eventually found by his brothers who started bullying him again. Eventually, Raja told Sanji that the Germa Kingdom was heading to the East Blue, and that this would be his best chance to escape. When Germa came to the East Blue and invaded the island Kozia, Raja freed Sanji and told him to head to freedom on a nearby ship. Sanji encountered Joe, who allowed him to run away so long as he never associated himself with the Vinsmoke family again, and he ran crying to the ship orbit, where he embarked to freedom.
Yes.
手ひレイジなぜ戻ってきたんせ自分さおーいサンジーサンジ君おおなんであいつらここに迎えに来たぞサンジ帰ろうサンジうわちょっと何してんのサンジ君帰れ下級海賊ども俺の名はピンスモークサンジジェルマ王国のプリンスだお前は俺が追い払う
In the present, Raja found Sanji in the laboratory and took him to fix his face in preparation for lunch with Big Mom and Pudding. She put a mask on over his face that made it look like normal, and asked him why he acted so chivalrously. Sanji revealed that he learned it from Zeph, who was the only man to consider him a son. Sanji then headed out with his family to go to the banquet at the Whole Cake Chateau. Back in the seducing woods, Luffy's fight against Cracker lasted for 11 hours. With the protection of her enslaved homies, Nami created rain clouds to soften Cracker's biscuit soldiers, allowing Luffy to eat them. After eating the soldiers, Luffy ran away before coming back and repeating this over and over. Luffy's body was so full it threatened to burst, but his efforts managed to fatigue Cracker. Eventually, after Luffy continued eating even more biscuit soldiers, Cracker snapped and charged in to finish Luffy off himself. However, Luffy then activated a form of gear fourth known as Tankman, Monpuku version, and he absorbed Cracker into his body before shooting him out, sending him crashing through his biscuit soldiers and the trees as he flew all the way to Sweet City, where he was discovered by his siblings Zopper Montana and Galette. Shocked by his defeat, they raised a state of emergency in the city. Pound, who had run away during the battle, returned and warned Luffy that Big Mom's wrath would be unleashed upon Luffy now. Recalling how in the past she had sent her weapon Zeus and Prometheus to create a storm before sending Cracker to avenge the former Sweet Commander Snack, who had been beaten by the supernova Yaruj. However, Luffy had no choice but to continue saving Sanji, and he and Nami forced King Bomb to take them out of the seducing woods. Meanwhile, Chopper and Carrot found themselves in the mirror world, and Chopper told Carrot to follow his lead as he sought to use the mirrors connected to Whole Cake Island to their advantage. However, they were soon chased by Brule, and they briefly got in contact with Luffy and Nami with the mirror shard before it was shattered. Brule eventually captured them, but accidentally turned a frog into the mirror image of Carrot and captured the frog. She brought Chopper and the frog to her house and prepared to cook the latter, and Carrot hid in the attic. Guests gathered at Brule's house, among them being Randall, the noble Croc, and Diesel. When the party prepared to cook the frog, Carrot climbed down on the rope holding her duplicate and kicked over the giant pot of boiling water onto Brule. She and Chopper then quickly defeated the rest of the guests, and captured Brule and Diesel to guide them through the mirror world. After leaving the woods, Luffy's group reached a clearing where they immediately ran into the carriage containing Sanji and the Vinsmokes. Luffy became excited as he ran toward Sanji, but Sanji kicked him away. With the threat against Seth hanging over him, Sanji claimed that he had rejected the Straw Hats in favor of his royal heritage, and he attacked Luffy, who refused to accept this but also would not lay a hand on him. After defeating Luffy, Sanji returned to his carriage, but Luffy proclaimed that he would wait in this clearing and would not eat anything until Sanji came back. The Vinsmokes carriage then arrived at Sweet City in the Whole Cake Chateau, and Sanji and his family watched as a massive army headed out to take down Luffy and avenge Cracker. The Vinsmokes went inside and began their lunch with Big Mom and Pudding, and Pudding told Sanji to meet her in private. There, Pudding confided that she had failed to help Sanji return to his crewmates and apologized for putting him in this situation, but Sanji declared that he had accepted his situation. Having decided to make the best of what he was given, he decided to get married to Pudding the next day. After this, Sanji went to Big Mom and made an agreement that she release his crewmates in return for his willing participation in the wedding. Meanwhile, Zeus and Prometheus created a storm on the outskirts of Sweet City, and Big Mom's enraged army arrived to battle Luffy. Although Luffy's group managed to take down many of the chess soldiers with the help of Nami's Vivre card, Luffy was eventually overwhelmed by the vast array of Devil Fruit users, and Nami was immobilized by Goet's ability. Luffy was then knocked out by Counter and Cadence's punches, and after she had killed King Bomb by slicing him in two, Amon took Nami's Vivre card from her. The Big Mom pirates then took Luffy and Nami to the Whole Cake Chateau, where they were imprisoned in a book in the prisoner library. Big Mom took the Vinsmoke family save Sanji to another part of her library, where she kept a large variety of rare species. Judge noted that he had not seen any giants in Totoland, and Big Mom was briefly angered, but then said that he must have just missed them. Big Mom then went to contact Luffy and Nami, and Lola's Vivre card. Big Mom revealed that she wished to kill Lola for ruining a political marriage that could have let her become a pirate king. However, Luffy was unfazed by Big Mom and challenged her, harassing her right. After the call, Pudding then came to the library and entered Luffy and Nami's cell. She told them that she would not be marrying Sanji, revealing to them in secret that she would murder him during the wedding. As she said this, she revealed the third eye on her forehead, and she also revealed that Big Mom would also renege on her agreement to spare the rest of the Sanji retrieval team. This left Luffy and Nami completely aghast, although they were unable to do anything. Soon afterwards, Pudding shot Reiju, who was snooping around the chateau, in the leg. Reiju initially managed to keep moving, but was eventually captured and taken to Pudding's room. There, Pudding revealed that the Big Mom pirates planned to massacre the Vinsmoke family with special walkers whose bullets could pierce through the Vinsmoke's exoskeletons. Sanji had made a meal for Pudding to make up for her not eating lunch, and after being unable to get through her door, he snuck around to her window where he overheard her revealing the plan, leaving him in despair. Pudding then used her devil fruit to remove Reiju's memories of their encounter and sent her to the infirmary. Sanji went to the infirmary and told Reiju what had happened, and she believed him. She urged him to run away, saying that the rest of the family's lives were worthless. She revealed that their mother Sora opposed Judge's wishes for their son's emotions to be suppressed, but was forced to undergo a surgery to insert these modifications into the unborn sons. Afterwards, Sora took a drug in the hopes of reversing these modifications, and the drug weakened her to the point where she eventually died. The drug worked on Sanji alone, and Reiju urged him to keep living as Germa's failure. In the Whole Cake Chateau's room of treasure, Sweet Commander Charlotte Smoothie was stationed to guard Big Mom's poneglyphs along with Tamago and several other fighters. Brook spies into the room with the soul projection and sees the security, and he and Pedro decide that Pedro will provide a distraction. Pedro created a ruckus outside the room, causing Tamago and some of Big Mom's forces to pursue him. This caused Smoothie to be lured out of the room and locked out by Brook, who confronted the forces still inside and swiftly overwhelmed the homies with his Yomi Yomi no Mi abilities. Big Mom then received a signal from her hat Napoleon that there was an intruder in the room of treasure, and as Brook was copying down the poneglyphs after having taken all the plugs out, she barged into the room and confronted him.
なんてこった。部下をほとんどやられちまった。だがそろそろ限界のようだな。城でママがお待ちかねだ。ペロリ。
俺はここで。
では歌いましょうか。
ルフィ、起きて。ルフィ、ここは。うわ、
ようやく
戦いが望む4校
ママ
麦わら。まあいい。明日を思えば何でも許せる。最高のウェディングケーキが食えるから。おや、俺の忠実な海の戦士ジンベエ。どうした今日。うちやめたり。海賊なんだ。好きに生きるの。俺はお前という一大戦力を失うのさ。お前も
この結婚にだから君
おいやらそうでもマンおいません俺たち
Tamago and his subordinates chased Pedro to a courtyard, where Tamago and Pedro dueled for the first time since 5 years ago, when Pedro had taken Tamago's eye. Pedro remembered his voyage into Tato Land 5 years ago, where after his defeat he and his comrade Zeppo were forced to spin Big Mom's roulette wheel to see what lifespan they would lose. They landed on 100 years, and Zeppo was killed after having 30 years removed. However, Peekins, who had recently joined Big Mom, pleaded for her to spare Pedro, and Pedro earned her respect by removing his right eye, causing the remaining 70 years to be shaved to 50 and allowing him to survive. With not much lifespan left, Pedro was willing to die here to help the Straw Hats. During the battle, however, Chopper and Carrot found Pedro, and they devised a plan for Pedro to escape into the Nero world. Pedro managed to bisect Tamago, only for the Baron to use his Devil Fruit abilities to regenerate into a stronger form called Viscount Hyoko. Pedro managed to bisect Hyoko as well, and before Hyoko regenerated into his final form, the true Knight Count Miwatari, Pedro blew up the courtyard in what appeared to be a suicide attack. However, he managed to escape into the mirror world right after setting off the explosion. In the prisoner library, Luffy tried twisting against his binding in order to rip his hands off and escape. Appa then prepared to torture Nami to get her to reveal Lola's location, but before he could, Jinbei entered the library and knocked him out with Gazen Megawara Seiken. Jinbei then burned the books, freeing Luffy and Nami. Luffy then ran on ahead to find Sanji, and he was pulled into Reiju's room. Reiju told Luffy that Sanji knew about Pudding's treachery and that he was trapped by threats against Zeph, and Luffy thanked her before jumping out the window onto the streets below. Smoothie heard about the breakout, and to avoid Big Mom's wrath, she had her forces seal off the 4th floor and attack the escapees without letting Big Mom know. Nami and Jinbei battled Big Mom's forces in the chateau until they were reunited with Chopper and Carrot and brought into the mirror world. Elsewhere in the chateau, the Big Mom pirates met to discuss the fates of the Sanji retrieval team. Count Niwadari, who had survived Pedro's explosion, reported Pedro as dead. The crew assumed that Brûlé had dealt with Chopper and Carrot, and Appa then lied that Luffy and Nami had died in order to protect himself from Big Mom's wrath. Due to an eggplant soldier sleeping in Sanji's bed, the Big Mom pirates were unaware that Sanji was unaccounted for. In the Room of Treasure, Brook was overwhelmed by Big Mom's power, but refused to go down. Eventually, he was defeated, and after not finding any copies of the poneglyphs on him, Big Mom decided to keep him as a pet. Although Brook could not overpower her homies Zeus, Prometheus, and Napoleon due to them being made from her own soul, he was capable of giving Prometheus a small wound. Pudding then entered the room and asked to speak with Big Mom. Pudding and Big Mom went over the plan to assassinate the Vinsmokes in the throne room, with Brook overhearing it. In the mirror world, Nami, Chopper, Jinbei, Pedro, and Carrot, along with Brûlé and Diesel, searched for Brook, and they eventually found Big Mom sleeping with him. After multiple attempts and barely escaping Big Mom's power, they successfully rescued Brook and brought him back to the mirror world. There, Brook revealed that he had copied all of the poneglyphs and stored them in his skull, and the team celebrated before going to look for Luffy and Sanji. Sanji remained in the chateau, and despite Reiju's encouragement, he resigned himself to death. Bobbin then came up to him and took a piece of food out of the bento box that Sanji had made for Pudding. In an instant, Sanji kicked him into the wall, and was immediately forced to run away. Sanji escaped to Sweet City with Bobbin in hot pursuit, but he made it to the outskirts of the city while Bobbin was shot by the fire tank pirates. Sanji found Luffy at the promised spot, with his captain incapacitated from hunger. Luffy ate Sanji's bento and found it delicious even though it was ruined, but Sanji then told him that he would not be rejoining the crew. However, Luffy punched him and told him to say what he really felt, and Sanji admitted that he wanted to save his family from assassination. Upon hearing this, Luffy immediately agreed to help in the endeavor. The rest of the Sanji retrieval team then got in contact with Luffy and Sanji, and upon hearing their new objective, Jinbei suggested proposing an alliance to Vega, who was aiming to assassinate Big Mom during the wedding. Luffy and Vega both agreed to Jinbei's proposition. In the Whole Cake Chateau, the Vinsmokes partied and drank heavily, looking forward to the wedding. Meanwhile, the Straw Hats arrived at the fire tank pirates' hideout and were forced to bake before meeting with Vega. While in the bath, Nami and Carrot spoke with Chiffon, who revealed that Lola had turned down a marriage proposal from Prince Loki of Elbaf. Due to her resemblance to Lola, Chiffon had been abused by Big Mom after the marriage's failure, and she now had no problem with her husband trying to kill her mother. The two crews then met, and although things got off to a rocky start due to Luffy being angry at Vega for shooting Peekins, a collaborative plan was set. Vega had recruited Caesar Clown to his side after being put on guard duty at the latter's lab, and had gained KX launchers that would instantly kill anyone upon penetrating their skin. However, Big Mom had skin as hard as iron, but Vega knew how she could become weak. At every tea party, Big Mom brought out a portrait of a mysterious woman named Mother Carmel. Recently, someone had accidentally cracked it, which had caused Big Mom to enter a psychological crisis, and during this crisis she scraped her knees upon falling to the ground. Vega gave Luffy the task of destroying the portrait, and Luffy accepted despite the heavy risk. After the meeting, Luffy got an idea to enter the wedding and requested that Vega have a mirror be placed in the wedding cake. He then went and gathered several animals and told Brule to turn them into reflections of himself. At an inlet on Whole Cake Island, the Sun Pirates treated Pikum's wounds, but did not tell him what Jinbei was plotting. They then tied him up as they departed from Whole Cake Island the morning of the wedding. As morning broke, the underworld emperors who were invited to the wedding arrived on Whole Cake Island, with the conglomerate member Dufel, the queen of the pleasure district Stussy, and the reporter for the World Economic Journal Morgans among them. They went to the wedding venue at the top of the Whole Cake Chateau, where Vega stood guard. A man named Jigra attempted to get in, but was shot by Sweet Commander Charlotte Katakuri. Katakuri, whose Kenbunshaku haki was so advanced it allowed him to see into the future, had foreseen that Jigra had been attempting to attack Big Mom. At 10 a.m., Big Mom entered the venue and the tea party festivities began. Big Mom was presented with presents from her underworld guests, and revealed that she planned to open the Tamate Bako that she received from Fishman Island as well. With everyone in the venue, Caesar remained outside while Vega took the Sanji retrieval team to initiate their plan. Inside the chateau, Pudding changed into her wedding dress and prepared to have to modify everyone's memories after the assassination. Sanji returned to the chateau and soon joined Pudding, and as Pudding continued with her facade, Sanji struggled to remind himself of her true intentions despite her looks. The two of them were then brought out to the venue, and inside Vega's body, Jinbei desperately tried to wake Luffy up as the time for his entrance was soon. Pudding and Sanji stood before the altar, and when the time came for Pudding to lift her veil, she did so intending for Sanji to be shocked by her third eye. However, Sanji called her beautiful, shocking Pudding and causing her to break down as she remembered being bullied for her appearance as a child. With this development, both the priest and Katakuri moved to shoot Sanji, but Sanji dodged Katakuri's shot and it hit the priest, causing his gun to go off. With the sound of a gunshot being his cue, Luffy and his animal duplicates then burst out of the wedding cake. Luffy's entrance caused chaos to erupt in the venue, and Big Mom began to go crazy at the destruction of the wedding cake. Katakuri found the real Luffy and attacked him with his Mochi Mochi no Mi abilities. However, Jinbei freed Luffy from Katakuri's Mochi and spoke to Big Mom, declaring that he wished to leave her crew. He was willing to let Big Mom take his lifespan so long as she did not harm any of his comrades, and Big Mom tried to do so, but found herself unable to due to Jinbei lacking fear. She then attacked Jinbei and Luffy, but as she did this, Brook, who had disguised himself as Luffy, went up to the Carmel portrait and destroyed it. However, Big Mom did not enter a crisis due to being overwhelmed by the destruction of the cake. Pudding attempted to complete her job and shoot Sanji, but was hit out of the way by her brother Charlotte Dafuku, who summoned a genie that briefly overpowered Sanji. Meanwhile, Pedro was confronted by Charlotte Oven, who used his Netsu no Mi abilities to heat up his sword and prevent him from holding it. Meanwhile, the Vinsmokes were bound by Perospero's candy and held at gunpoint, and were unable to escape due to not wearing their raid suits. Judge wept as he was left aghast by the Big Mom pirates' treachery, while his sons showed no emotion at all and Reiju accepted their fate. Vega pretended to go after Luffy, and Brook went to them to tell them to show Big Mom the pieces of the Carmel portrait. Katakuri then confronted them, and Vega shot the Sweet Commander to give Luffy time. Katakuri avoided various attacks from the enemy alliance as he pursued Luffy, but subdued Luffy too late as Luffy stretched his arms in front of Big Mom's face, showing her the portrait pieces. Big Mom then entered a crisis, unleashing Hoshoku Haki that knocked out several guests and a scream that immobilized everyone else. The Straw Hat Fire Tank Alliance members put on earplugs, and with the assassins incapacitated, Sanji freed his family from their bindings as they were given earplugs as well. As she screamed, Big Mom despaired over Mother Carmel, wanting to know where she had gone.
私はメモメモのみの能力者。人は誰も頭の中に記憶のフィルムを持ってる。私はそれを自由に書き換えられるのよ。
プリンはその能力でレイジの記憶を改ざんして去ると、こっそりと現れたサンジは 今ここで起きた事実をレイジュに説明する。
いい機会だわ。ジェルマはこのまま滅ぶべきだと思う。あなたは麦わらたちと逃げなさい、サンジ。
サンジと入れ違いに今度はルフィがレイジュの前に現れる。プリンの裏切りをサンジに伝えようと焦るルフィに、レイジュは彼が全て知っていることを告げた。
騙されてねえんならいいや。俺行くよ。約束の場所はここじゃねえから。
約束の場所に向かいサンジを待つルフィ。しかし到着して間もなく、戦いの疲労と空腹のあまり意識を失う。
ちゃんと待ってねえと、あの場所で。
やがて料理の匂いに目を覚ますと、そこには弁当を持ったサンジの姿があった。
はあ、うまかった。干からびるとこだった。
食ったら帰れ。
何言ってんだ。一緒に帰ろう。
一つ、はるばる迎えに来た己の船の船長を俺は侮辱し、無抵抗のお前を力の限り傷つけた。だから俺は今さらお前の船には戻れない。二つ、第四あるクソジジイおよび俺が育った故郷海上レストランバラティエを人質に取られてる。だから俺は結婚式から逃げるわけにはいかない。三つ、血のつながった悪の家族がビッグマムにはめられた。数時間後全員が殺される。何の恩もない恨みしかねえクズどもだが、俺はあいつらを見捨てて逃げることができない。以上三つの理由で俺はお前らと一緒には帰れない。理解したら消えてくれ。
本心を言えよ。
ルフィ、俺はサニー号に帰りたい。だがどうしても逃げ出す勇気がねえ。式が始まったら俺一人じゃ止められねえのに。家族だとも思わねえあのクズどもを俺は助けたいと考えている。
だってそれがお前だろ。俺たちがいる。式をぶっ壊そう。
サンジの本心を聞き出し、一味と連絡を取ったルフィはジンベエの取りなしでビッグマム傘下のベッジと会見する。ベッジはビッグマムの部下でありながら、
さて、ベッジはその立ちうちとしちゃおめえ。
俺が死んだらビッグ。
どうじゃる。殺
さっ
ちかむ
ちょっといいよ。写真を割るのは俺がやる。今
海洋部
よし。
さあベールを上げて誓いのキス、お前が終わる瞬間だ。
どうしたプリン、なぜお前が倒れるんだ。
ミスターな未来を片栗。
よく見ろサンジ、この忌まわしき第三の目を。
なんて美しい瞳だ。ごめん、近くで見たらつい見とれて。
我が子ながら気味が悪いねプリン。
この目を美しいなんて言ったやつはただの一人も。
どうしたプリン、早く撃て。
プリンちゃん、
ふざけんな殺すんだ。私はお前を。
避けたか。
一体どういうことだいカタクリ。プリンに何が。ああの野郎、よくもウェディングケーキは。
奴らの狙いはママか。そうはさせない。ハンディウォール。
道を塞がれた。回り道せねばならんな。
行くぞ。今もぶっ飛ばす。ジンベエ、これは完全に謀反と取っていいんだよな。
ぜひそう受け取ってもらう。麦わらの一味にわしは入りたい。これにてビッグマム海賊団を辞めさせてもらう。どうもお世話になりやした。
63 years ago, a 5-year-old Charlotte Lean had been abandoned on Alpha by her parents after causing too much destruction in her hometown. Her parents hoped that Mother Carmel would take her into the sheep's house, and Lean indeed found a home in an orphanage where children of all races were raised. Carmel, who had ushered in a new era of human-giant relations after pleading for the lives of the giant warrior pirates to be spared, was patient with Lean's obliviousness that led to violent tendencies, but never taught her to curb these tendencies. One day, Lean in the sheep's house took part in a summer feast prior to a 12-day fasting period for the winter solstice festival. But Lean loved the sema so much she had to be restrained before she could eat it all. Lean greatly struggled during the ensuing fast, and by the 7th day, she had snapped and gone on a crazed rampage for sema. One of the oldest giants in the village, Joro, attempted to kill her for her actions, but Lean threw him to the ground and gave him fatal injuries. Lean was then given sema, and Carmel pleaded for the giants to spare her. They agreed, but on the condition that Lean leave the island, and so Carmel took the sheep's house to a new island. Life resumed as normal on the new island, and one day, Carmel met with agents from the world government. Working as an underworld trafficker named Mountain Witch, Carmel operated the sheep's house to sell recruits for the Marines and Cypher Paul under the guise of adoption. She sold Lean for a hefty price, and prepared to retire once Lean was gone. Soon afterwards, the sheep's house celebrated Lean's 6th birthday, and they made a croquembouche of semla for her. An overjoyed Big Mom rapidly consumed the croquembouche, oblivious to everything else around her. But after finishing her meal, she looked to see that Carmel and the sheep's house children were all gone. Two people witnessed this event: a giant, who's reported it to Elbeth caused the giants to hate Ling even more, and a man named Struzen, a failed pirate and chef who was captivated by what he saw. Struzen approached the distressed Ling and offered to feed her with his Kuku no Mi powers if he joined her, and in the years that followed, Ling became a terrorizing pirate who quickly earned high bounties and could not be stopped by anyone. Ling and Struzen also worked on turning the island they first met on into a place where everyone could live in harmony, as Ling had inherited this dream from Carmel. Although she misinterpreted it to believe that everyone should be the same size as her. In the present, Vito and Dottie exited Vega's body and the trio shot their KX launchers at Big Mom. However, in her anguish, she unleashed a powerful scream that blew up the missiles in midair. As Katakuri created mochi earplugs to protect his crewmates from Big Mom's scream, the Fire Tank Straw Hat Alliance's mission ended in failure and they were left with no choice but to run away. Caesar flew in with Verlaine and mirror for the Alliance to escape through, but Big Mom's scream shattered the mirror, leaving the Alliance trapped. Vega then transformed into a giant humanoid castle known as Big Father and told the Alliance members to get inside him. Katakuri rescued Brule and Smoothie, Daikuku, and up and captured Nami, Carrot, and Chopper respectively. However, after regaining their raid suits, the Vince Smokes put them on and attacked the Big Mom pirates, freeing Nami, Carrot, and Chopper. They then joined the Alliance inside Vega, and he attempted to kill Big Mom, but was stopped by Perospero and Katakuri and besieged. Big Mom then regained her senses and started attacking Vega, with her punches strong enough to damage him. The Alliance tried to think of a way to escape, and they considered having Caesar fly Vega out of the venue, although this was extremely risky. Meanwhile, Sanji talked with Judge, and made it clear that he would no longer be associated with the Vince Smokes. Judge agreed to never go near him or the East Blue again, and then took his other children toward the exit as they prepared to repay their debt by giving back up to Caesar and Vega. When the Vince Smokes and Caesar exited him, Vega transformed into his normal body and was carried away by Caesar as the Vince Smokes shielded them from the Big Mom pirates' bullets. However, Big Mom began attacking an injured Ranger with Prometheus, but before she could finish her off, Sanji and Luffy came out and intercepted her strike. Sanji wanted to escape immediately afterwards, but Luffy clashed with Big Mom again, telling her that he would return and beat her after Kaido. Judge then came to confront Big Mom, but she swiftly took him down, followed by Michi and Yanji. Ichiji was beaten by Katakuri and Sanji, Luffy, and Reiju were subdued by the Big Mom pirates, leaving Caesar and Vega helpless. Meanwhile, Dufelt had gone to the Tamate Bako to try to steal its contents. After accidentally dropping it onto a ledge below, he went down to get it, but ended up being shot by Stussy, who was revealed to be a CP0 agent. However, his incapacitated body pushed the Tamate Bako off the ledge, and it fell all the way to the ground and exploded, which damaged the base of the whole cake chateau and caused it to start tipping over. Sanji and Caesar flew their allies to safety, parting ways with the Vince Smokes, while the Big Mom pirates fell to the ground far below. However, Struzen turned part of the chateau into soft cake, cushioning the fall. The Straw Hat Fire Tank Alliance went to the northwest part of Whole Cake Island, and Caesar left after getting his heart back while the Straw Hats and Fire Tank pirates parted ways. Back in Sweet City, the Big Mom pirates planned to pursue their enemies, but Big Mom started craving her ruined wedding cake and went on a mad rampage, removing Opera's lifespan in the process. Perospero lied that there was a second wedding cake that the Straw Hats had stolen, and Big Mom believed him, but said she would kill him if he was lying, causing him to panic. Pudding then arrived and told her crew that she could make another wedding cake with the rare ingredients left over on Cacao Island and with the help of her sister Chiffon. She told them that she wanted to make the cake to get revenge on Sanji, but when she found Chiffon and the Fire Tank pirates, she told Chiffon that she wanted to make it to help Sanji, and wanted to enlist him in the effort. Chiffon agreed to help Pudding, as she wanted to repay Nami for helping Lola, and they flew to Sanji on the carpet homie with Ian. Chopper and Brook headed off on their own to retrieve the shark's submerge, and as the rest of the Straw Hat group approached the seducing woods, they found King Bomb, who had been resurrected. Nami used a part of Lola's beaver card that she had torn off and retained to force him to take them into the woods, but Big Mom then flew in behind them on Zeus looking for her wedding cake. She had Napoleon turn into a sword and unleashed devastating attacks at the Straw Hats, but Nami got an idea and fed Zeus some thundercloud balls. Zeus loved the clouds and stopped to eat them, causing Big Mom to fall off of him. However, Prometheus incinerated King Bone, and the seducing woods homies attacked as well, as Big Mom nullified the power of Lola's beaver card. Additionally, some of Big Mom's crew arrived to back her up, but Jinbei weakened Prometheus with Fishman Karate, and while Nami was distracted, Zeus ate her entire weather egg. This caused him to swell up with storm energy, and Nami forced him to discharge, hitting Big Mom and her crew with a massive lightning bolt. Big Mom was left in a crater, but was still conscious and continued chasing the Straw Hats. Pudding and Chiffon then flew in to recruit Sanji to their cake baking operation, and Sanji agreed to it. Pudding then used her ability to restore the seducing woods homies' memories of their past lives, leaving them confused and overwhelmed and clearing the path to the sun. Katakuri and Prospero took thousands of chess soldiers through the Mirror World to occupy the Sunny, and they were met by Chopper and Brook from the Submerge. Prospero offered to let the duo run away, but they refused to abandon the ship and took down dozens of chess soldiers. Prospero then encased them in candy, leaving them 3 minutes until they suffocated. The Straw Hats then emerged onto the beach with Big Mom on their tail, and Prospero and Katakuri confronted them. Luffy clashed with Katakuri, but Prospero trapped the Sunny and Candy as the Big Mom pirates fleet besieged it, leaving the Straw Hats trapped. Pedro then attempted to attack Prospero, but was overwhelmed. However, he then lit up several bombs in his jacket, engulfing him and Prospero in a massive explosion. Prospero survived, but received heavy injuries that left him unable to maintain his candy creations, thus freeing the Sunny, Chopper, and Brook. The Straw Hats prepared to escape with coup de burst, and to prevent him from going after his crew, Luffy grabbed Katakuri before grabbing Brule, who had been watching from a nearby mirror. He pulled himself and Katakuri into the Mirror World as the rest of the group activated coup de burst, blasting them away from Whole Cake Island. The Sunny crew mourned Pedro's death, but could not do so for long as Big Mom and her fleet quickly caught up to them. In the Mirror World, Luffy began fighting Katakuri, but Katakuri used his mochi powers to mimic Luffy's abilities and overwhelm him. Brule and her subordinates then prepared to attack the Sunny through its mirrors, and after Katakuri prevented him from stopping them, Luffy contacted his crew through a mirror shard and told them to shatter all of the ship's mirrors, and planned to meet back up with everyone on Cacao Island. The Sunny crew was attacked by a giant wave created by Big Mom, 58, but Jinbei single-handedly piloted the ship through the inside of the wave, successfully riding it out and escaping from Big Mom once again. The crew then shattered their mirrors, and everyone thought the Sunny had sunk, but Brule overheard Luffy talking to his crew and realized they were still alive, causing her to contact Prospero.
どうしてもいられないな。とりあえず
そろそろい本気でやろう。無双ドーナツ。動きを読まれるというのはこういうことだ。楽にしてやる。無駄だ。
フランシェストライク。
本気でやろう。無双ドーナツ。
パーティーテーブル骨だけに
覚悟。覚悟。
フランシェストライク。
覚悟。
どけ！その後のギガントジェットシェル。ジェットバズーカ。
本気でやろう。無双ドーナツ。
ジェットバズーカ。
これで終わりだ。本気に落ち。それろ。それろ。
まだまだ。
これで終わりだ。落ち。楽にして
ワジャムアッシー。
それろ。覚悟。これで終わりだ。本気に落ち。それこ無駄だ。落ち着け。本気でやろう。無双ドーナツ。それを無駄だ。落ち着け。無駄だ。落ち着
とりあえず一服だ。
さてもう一戦だ。
俺は一度抜ける。戻るまであとは任せた。
よし、これで全員入ったな。
片栗お兄ちゃん、助けてくれてある。
そう。
あたしゃひ出てここれダメよ。3
一つのだからよくよし。いいんだルフィ。であいつは
出てきたね。はい。
こいつは俺たちが食い止めてやる。
の間に急いでこの場から離れろ。
さっさと抜けるぞ。
あいつら勝手に飛び出しやがって。仕方ねえ、このまま行くぞ。よし、そろそろ頃合いだな。ビッグファーザー解除。
どうしてもいられない。
この辺でいいだろう。出ろ。おめえらとはここまでだ。俺は勝手に逃げさせてもらうぜ。
追ってか。ここからは二手に分かれよう。俺はビッグマムを引きつけながら行く。
それじゃあ私は追っ手を抑えて別の道から船に向かうね。
では私とチョッパーさんはカイロからサニー号に向かいますので。
気をつけろよみんな。ありがとう、助かるよ。
逃げなきゃやべえってのにてめえら邪魔すんな。
On Whole Cake Island, Montanador received a report from Custard that the fire tank pirates had escaped. Meanwhile, the Vin Smokes defeated the 10,000-strong army of Big Mom pirates sent to take them down. And Michi impersonated one of them to trick Montdor into thinking that the Big Mom pirates were victorious. The Big Mom pirates were unable to track the locations of the fire tank and Straw Hat crews, however. As the Sun Pirates had stuck around Toto Land and Praline had distracted the territorial sea slugs by singing near Montdor, Peekums cried over Pedro's death. Hours later, Stussy and Morgans joined Montdor's group and revealed to him that the Tamate Bako caused the explosion that tipped over the chateau. They then wondered if the Straw Hats would escape from Toto Land, but Montdor assured them no such thing would happen. Luffy continued fighting Katakuri in the Mirror World, but Katakuri used his advanced Kenbun Shaku Haki to dodge all of Luffy's attacks and overwhelmed Luffy offensively. Luffy was even more overwhelmed when Katakuri brought out his trident Mogura, but worked to dodge Mogura's deadly strikes and managed to stay in the fight. Brule told Luffy he had no chance of beating Katakuri, saying that Katakuri had never laid on his back since he was born. Katakuri became annoyed as his merienda was made late, and he stopped Luffy from entering Gear 4th before burying him in a pile of mochi. Some chefs then brought out sweet treats, and Katakuri created a mochi house to consume them in private. However, Luffy ate his way out of the mochi pile and broke into Katakuri's house, where he saw Katakuri laying on his back and eating donuts with his large mouth. Upon seeing Luffy, Katakuri flew into a rage and attacked his chefs, but Luffy activated Gear 4th and managed to hit Katakuri for the first time. As he assaulted Katakuri, Luffy realized that the sweet commander used his Kenbun Shaku Haki to move his mochi body out of harm's way, and was defenseless now that he had lost his composure. However, Katakuri regained his composure and started dodging attacks again, and Luffy was quickly back at a disadvantage as Katakuri assaulted him with powerful attacks. However, Katakuri accidentally revealed that Gear 4th would wear off soon, allowing Luffy to run away from him. Luffy then ran into Brule, and took her through a mirror into the real world. Perospero took Big Mom to Cacao Island to eat the wedding cake, but to his horror, she decided to go to Nuts Island instead and destroyed everything in her path as she looked for cake. Luffy and Brule arrived on Nuts Island through the mirror, and ended up right in front of the rampaging Big Mom. Perospero pointed her to Luffy, and Luffy was forced to run away while still being unable to use Haki. Eventually, Luffy took Brule inside a mirror, and the two of them visited several islands before eventually ending up in an empty house. As he waited to regain his Haki, Luffy remembered Silver's Rayleigh teaching him that Haki could be strengthened by battling opponents with strong Haki. This made him decide to use the fight against Katakuri to improve his own Haki. Meanwhile, as Pudding, Chiffon, and Sanji flew toward Cacao Island, they were spotted by Pound from a boat below, and he recognized his daughter Chiffon. Upon reaching Cacao Island, they were greeted by Whole Cake Island's top chefs, the WCI-31, who had been enlisted to help. Pudding altered their memories, making them believe that there was no fighting and Sanji had gotten married to her, and the team got to work making a cake in 3 hours. With Chiffon making the base chiffon cake, Pudding making the chocolate icing, and Sanji making a special whipped cream. As they were working, Pound unsuccessfully attempted to get into the sweets factory to see Chiffon. Oven then arrived on Cacao Island, and after seeing Pound making a commotion, he beat him up and threw him out. Inside the factory, Sanji finished his cream, which was so sweet it made people nearly die from happiness. With the parts of the cake finished baking, Sanji decided to set sail and construct the cake on the way to the Sunny. The cake baking team headed out with the cake, and Sanji hid his oven greeted them. He allowed Pudding to go on, but attacked Chiffon for being complicit in Vega's assassination attempt. Pound then tried to save his daughter, and Sanji took the opportunity to attack Oven and rescue Chiffon without being spotted. However, Oven quickly found Chiffon and confronted her again, and as he prepared to execute her, he got in contact with Vega, who was heading for Cacao Island. Vega said he would stand down, but as his ship the Nostra Castello got closer to the island, he shot Oven in the face. The Nostra Castello then used its tank treads to move on land, and Sanji brought the cake on board as Chiffon was reunited with her family and crew. Vega took the Nostra Castello back to the sea, but the ship and cake were then threatened as Oven boiled the ocean. However, Pound attacked Oven again, giving the pirates and chefs time to escape while Oven turned to confront him, and before he was struck down by a flaming naginata. Pound congratulated Chiffon on her marriage. Meanwhile, Big Mom and her fleet found and pursued the Sunny crew again, and Daifuku arrived with another fleet to surround the Sunny. However, after seeing the full moon in the sky, Carrot told the crew to lead Daifuku's fleet to her. She then gazed into the moon and transformed into her Salong form, which increased her abilities, and she flew toward Daifuku's fleet. Overwhelming them with her speed, she took down several of Daifuku's subordinates while removing the ship's helms. And Daifuku unwittingly aided her as his genie was unable to hit her and destroyed several ships instead. However, Carrot's transformation caused her to become very exhausted, and Brook went and took her back to the Sunny, which had a clear path with Daifuku's fleet in chaos. However, Big Mom, who was rapidly growing thinner, summoned Zeus and Prometheus back to her side and boarded the Sunny to look for the wedding cake. The Sunny crew was unable to stop her, but Big Mom ended up hitting Jinbei into the ocean, allowing him to come back and hit her with a powerful blow that knocked her off the ship. After landing on Zeus, Big Mom prepared to slice the Sunny in half, but Nami managed to distract Zeus long enough for Brook to cut the cloud homie in two. Nami then sent small thunderclouds to Zeus, forcing him to discharge again and engulfing Big Mom in lightning. The Sunny crew quickly sailed away from Big Mom as Nami captured and weakened Zeus, saying that he would become her servant. Back on the Nostra Castello, Sanji and Vega argued over whether or not to poison the cake, and Sanji fed Vega his whipped cream to convince him not to. The cake was then completed, and the pirates and chefs celebrated. Meanwhile, Big Mom caught up to the Sunny on Prometheus, who threatened to burn the ship and crew. However, she then smelled the cake on the approaching Nostra Castello, and headed toward it while Pudding and Sanji went to the Sunny. The Sunny crew then headed for Cacao Island, and Smoothie's fleet pursued them while Perospero followed Big Mom and the fire tank pirates, who took the cake to Lahura Island to get it far away from the Straw Hats. Perospero feared that the fire tank pirates had poisoned the cake, and was consumed with paranoia. Meanwhile, on Cacao Island, Oven had every mirror destroyed except one. had a fleet besiege the island, and gathered thousands of his crewmates to lie in wait to ambush Luffy and the Straw Hats. After regaining his haki, Luffy returned to the Mirror World to confront Katakuri again. Although he was still overwhelmed by Katakuri's strength, he continued working on trying to improve his Kenkin Shaku Haki by dodging the Sweep Commander's attacks. Hours passed, and Katakuri's younger sister Charlotte Flemp entered the Mirror World with her subordinates. Wanting to be Katakuri's favorite little sister, she and her subordinates tried to shoot Luffy, although had a difficult time doing it. As Katakuri realized what Luffy was doing and moved to finish him off quickly, Flamp managed to shoot Luffy with her blowgun, preventing him from dodging Moguri in time and causing him to receive a massive injury to his side. Katakuri assaulted Luffy with relentless attacks, but realized what had happened upon overhearing Flemp laughing. He shouted at her angrily for interfering in his fight, and stabbed himself where he hit Luffy in order to remove his advantage. In the process, Katakuri uncovered his mouth, causing Flemp to lose all respect for him and make fun of his mouth. Although Katakuri had been bullied for his mouth as a child, he paid no mind to it as he faced Luffy again. And the two of them unleashed Toshoku Haki that knocked out Flemp's group as they faced off as equals. Luffy had advanced his Kenbun Shaku Haki enough to be able to counter Katakuri's attacks and lay hits on the Sweep Commander, and the two of them fought brutally. Luffy then attempted to end their battle by activating a form of Gear 4th known as Snake Moon. With Snake Moon, Luffy moved at an extremely fast speed, and his attacks changed direction and grew faster. Luffy and Katakuri continued exchanging blows until they eventually headed for a final clash, in which they hit each other with their strongest attacks. Both of them were knocked out for a brief period of time, and when Luffy got up, Katakuri got up as well and foresaw that Luffy would come back and take down Big Mom before falling on his back. Defeated. As Luffy headed away, he was then greeted by a disguised Peekums, who had decided to help him escape to honor Pedro's memory and so had captured Brûlé to get out of the Mirror World. Sanji and Pudding went on ahead to Cacao Island to rescue Luffy, and as the Sunny crew headed there, they were forced to dodge flying water slashes from Smoothie. Sanji and Pudding made it to Cacao Island, where they hid in an alley near Oven's army. Pudding bid farewell to Sanji, and kissed him before removing his memory of it. In the Mirror World, Peekums told Luffy he would activate his long form to distract the Big Mom pirates, even though only Pedro could bring him out of it. Peekums and Brûlé then arrived on Cacao Island with Luffy hidden, shocking the Big Mom pirates. Peekums tried to activate Salong, but was quickly overwhelmed by Oven, and the Big Mom pirates quickly spotted the escaping Luffy. Sanji came in to rescue Luffy, but he was eventually overwhelmed by the sheer force of the army and was held at gunpoint. Right then, Ichichi, Michi, and Yanji arrived to block the bullets as the Germa Kingdom fleet battled the fleet besieging Cacao Island. The three brothers took down several of the Big Mom pirates as they brought Sanji and Luffy to safety, and Sanji and Luffy ended up flying over the Big Mom pirates' fleet right toward the Sunny, with Rager taking out the forces on the fleet.
キャンディーの味を教えてやる。俺の懸賞金額を知ってるか？7億だ。貴様ごときが倒せるわけねえだろ。ちくしょう、こんな奴らにこの俺が。
絶品はジャック、中にはジューシーなライオンがたっぷり。いやー、うまーい。よし、ゼウスフリーズな変化。すげえ威力だな。
これでしばらくはビッグマムも。
みんなサニー号よ。
雷にやられたのはお前たちではなかったか。
お前らここは俺に任せて船を出せ。でもルフィ、
俺がいる以上出港などさせねえ。
船は出す。この船の船長は俺だ。ゴムゴムのエレファントガーン。
バカ野郎、なぜそこに。
みんな必ず戻る。あとは頼んだ。
ルフィがカタクリをミロワールドに引き込んだ直後、ナミたちはクードバーストでビッグマムを振り切ることに成功する。サンジはサニー号に合流してきたプリンの話を聞き、ビッグマムを止めるケーキを作るため別。
なんちゅうビッグマムの。
サンジがウェディング。
ジンベルフィ、まだ全部。早くしねえと敵がそっちになだれ込むぞ。さっき
見たけど。
鏡を割られたか。確かにこれでは船に照らしてあげる。だがお前は俺には勝てん。無駄な悪あがきはやめるんだな。
うるせえ。こっちに負けるか。よっ、おーし、パウンドマン。
ルフィ、聞こえる？
ナミ、そっちはどうなってんだ。
私たちはサンジ君にケーキを作ってもらってビッグマムを止めに行く。あんたはそいつをぶっ飛ばしてから私たちと合流よ。いいわね。
分かった。すぐぶっ飛ばすからちょっと待ってろ。
いつで仕留める。流れ持ち。
なんだ、地面が餅になった。
地上にとどまる限り息つく暇も与えん。
キングコングか。ダブルカルバリン。
どうやらその状態長くは持たんようだな。流れ持ち。
そうか、ギアフォースの時間切れか。逃げるぞ、なるべく遠くへ。なんとか10分逃げ切らねえと。覇気なしじゃ絶対かなわねえ。え、ここなら覇気が回復するまで休めそうだ。ありがとうエダ。
ブリュレだよ。大体何のつもりだい。ここはもう鏡の外だ。逃げたきゃ逃げればいい。
覇気は消耗するもんだ。長期戦になればあいつの見聞色も必ず弱くなる。
バカに見えて戦闘のことには頭が回るのね。
でもそれじゃダメだ。
見聞色、武装色、覇王色、なんとか2年で基礎までは叩き込んでやるつもりだ。だが鍛えるとなれば私は甘くないぞ。
おう、望むところだ。よろしくおっさん。
よろしくお願いします、レイリーさん。いや、レイリー先生。師匠。
いつかレイリーが言ってたんだ。強敵と戦うほど強くなるって。俺にも見えるかな、少
少し未来。
調子に乗るなちびすけ。
あいつを超えたい。俺全力のあいつに勝ちて10億の男に。
質問に答える。なぜ戻ってきた？逃げたと言われる恥より死を選びに来たか、それとも実力の差に気づき傘下に入れてほしいと懇願に来たか。
お前に勝ちに来た。
俺に勝ちに来た。そんな選択肢は用意していない。
ヘッドバズーカ。
本気でやる。無双ドーナツ。
ヘッドバズーカ。
持ちほどん。
ヘッドバズーカ。
だんだん俺の見聞色に近づいている。
お前にも攻撃は当たるんだ。すげえのは持ちの能力じゃなくて見聞色なんだろ。
俺は効率よく避けているだけ。覇気で未来を見れば可能だ。だがそれを見極めたところでお前が勝てる道理はない。
まさかここまで長引くとは。片栗様、援護いたします。
いらん。余計な手出しは不要だ。持ちほど。
覇気は実戦の極限状態にこそさらに開花する。強敵と向き合うほどにお前はますます強くなる。
こいつやはり低確率で俺と同じ未来を見てやがる。早々に消さねえと万が一もある。落ち
やってやったぜ。
何がおかしいんだお前ら。男の勝負に薄っぺらい援護などするな。悪かった。
Sanji and Luffy made it to the Sunny, and Shirama's fleet provided backup against Smoothie and Daifuku's fleet. Judge asked Luffy why he wanted Sanji with him despite what he viewed to be Sanji's shortcomings, but Luffy saw none of those as shortcomings. Another Big Mom Pirates fleet arrived in front of the Sunny to surround the Straw Hats, but the Sun Pirates then emerged and took out the fleet to give the Straw Hats a path to freedom. Meanwhile, Oven had Brule bring special bullets to the Cacao Island army that would harm the Vinsmokes, and he went out to the water and boiled it to force the Sun Pirates to retreat. The Queen Mama Chanter then arrived and nearly destroyed the Sunny, but Watatsumi managed to replace it with the Sun Pirates ship before carrying it in his mouth. Oven used his heat to force Watatsumi to spit up the Sunny, but the Sun Pirates rose back up and prepared to take on the Big Mom Pirates to allow the Straw Hats to escape. Jinbei told Luffy he could not leave his old crew behind to die, and Luffy told him to reunite with his new crew on Wano once he was done. Jinbei then joined the Sun Pirates as they began battling, and as the Big Mom Pirates were occupied, the Straw Hats managed to sail out of Tado Land. As the Fire Tank Pirates headed toward Liquor Island with Big Mom on their tail, Chiffon said that they needed to go further ahead to Funmori Island to give the Straw Hats enough distance from Big Mom. However, the crew struggled to withstand Prometheus' heat as he and Big Mom drew closer to them. Montdor contacted Perospero to ask about the cake, and Perospero told him about its situation. At this point, Perospero could only hope that the cake would satiate Big Mom's craving, as they would all die otherwise. Montour then realized that Morgans and Stussy had left, and ordered them to be found to prevent them from revealing these events to the outside world.
さっきまではすまなかったな麦わら。俺はもうお前を隠したとは思わね
本当か。嬉しい。ありがとう。でも勝つ。
覚悟しこれで終わりだ。楽にして一気に落ちやろう。
敵のスタンピード。
これで終わりだ。
敵のスタンピード。
無双ドーナツ。
敵のスタンピード。
見えて無駄だ。見えて落ち着け。
The fire tank pirates reached Fun Warrior Island as the Nostra Costello finally gave out and sunk, and left the cake on the coast before heading out of Totterland. Big Mom then ate the cake, and was overjoyed by its delicious flavor as her craving was satisfied. Once she regained her senses, she headed for Cacao Island to take on the Straw Hats, and her crew rejoiced as she entered the fight against the Sun Pirates and Jenna. Morgans and Stussy left Totterland on a hot air balloon, and Morgans predicted that a member of the worst generation would become the next Pirate King. On Cacao Island, Pudding wept as she held the film of memories she had taken from Sanji. In the Mirror world, Brule tended to Katakuri's wounds, admitting that she had seen him on his back before as she remembered how Katakuri had attacked some bullies for scarring her face as a child. Outside of Totterland, Sanji found out about Petra's sacrifice before going to work cooking, and as he cooked, a rowdy pirate crew was coming to Karate. Despite his workers' complaints, Seth said he would serve them food no matter what, just as his son Sanji served his crew.
Iつかお前はビッグマムを倒しに来るのか。
もちろんだ。俺は海賊王になる男だ。
ずいぶん未来を見てやがる。
カタクリに勝利しミロワールドから脱出した満身創痍のルフィを待ち構えていたサンジが担ぎ、2人は仲間たちのもとへ急ぐ。しかし行く手をビッグマム海賊団の大軍に阻まれ、万事休すかと思われたその時、
奇遇だなサンジ。俺たちもこいつらに一泡吹かせたいと思ってた。
一時たちジェルマ66の援護で窮地を切り抜け、逃走を再開するルフィとサンジ。
見えたぞルフィ、サニー号だ。
ルフィたちは無事サニー号にたどり着き、仲間たちと再会を喜び合う。一方プリンは一人町の路地裏で座り込んでいた。
なんて美しい瞳だ。よし、調理開始だ。完成だ。ビッグマムを止める最強のウェディングケーキ。プリンちゃん、 ルフィが鏡から出てきたら君とはここでお別れだ。俺のフィアンセ役はプリンちゃんでよかった。
おいサンジさん、最後に一つだけお願いがあるの。
あれプリンちゃん、最後のお願いって何？
3時奪還を果たしたサニー号はトットランドを脱出すべく速度を上げる。
Okay guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.